I wonder
Check
if
test 1, 2.
Test 1, 2.
I mean, if it was down mixing last week, it's the same thing.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
But you were complaining about the other thing that it does was the same as last week, which is where you couldn't get the video to work. So it seems like sometimes you want something different, sometimes you don't.
No,
I just can't understand you.
I want the video to work.
I don't know what to do. Where am I? I'm lost. Test 1, 2. Are we still recording? No, we're watching.
Yeah, we're recording.
Oh, we're watching. Let me see how this goes.
Yeah, we're just going to test and see. Check test 1, 2.
Make an assessment.
I wasn't worried about that one. Spider's coming. I'm going to get it.
I had to, man.
It doesn't stand a chance.
After that, where was it going to go? Who knows? It could have been
He
anywhere.
could have gone. Oh, man, I tell you what. You talk about little things. So today, we were putting tires up, right? We were putting them up in the trailer, all the junk tires. And so we've got, inside of a tire, they have what are called balance beads, right?
Okay, I didn't know
Truckers
that,
will put them in there instead of actually balancing the tires, because you don't really do that on trailers because of how frequently you're changing them. It really doesn't make much of a difference because it's not that big of a deal, right?
But in the cab, you feel it if it's out of balance.
Yeah. So they'll throw a bag with all these little beads in them.
Okay.
Tiny, tiny beads.
Okay.
Throw it in there, air it up, and go down the road.
How do they get it in the tire?
It's in the tire.
You said truckers do this.
Oh, they'll give it to us to do.
Oh, they'll tell you to do it.
Yeah,
so
they'll be like,
hey,
put a bag of beads in it.
Now, do you guys carry the bag of beads?
Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. Sometimes they've got them.
What's a bag of bead cost?
I don't know. No clue.
So you don't get to upsell or anything?
I have no idea. I don't deal with money.
You should talk about.
I don't deal with money.
Them. You could upsell, get some bonuses. But anyways,
they
give you the bean bags.
So you throw these things in there. The bag obviously is going to disintegrate as it's going down the road at 70 miles an hour.
Okay.
And so the beads just go
are
everywhere.
Free flowing.
And it's kind of like water. It just goes out and evenly distributes across the tire. So it helps encourage even wear, right?
Okay.
Well,
I have a question after this about the like water going out and making it be even, because I want to talk about that later. But
okay. Are we sure we want to talk about it? I don't know if we do.
It's okay. We'll talk about it maybe.
Okay. We can. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know where we're going to go with it.
Centrifugal force. I just wanted you to explain the science to me, but it's completely.
Oh, I couldn't explain the science to you. I don't explain
yeah.
science.
Yeah.
I'm not. I trust.
But
the
you're
science.
expecting me to believe that as something spins, that there's an outward force that casts water or beads in
things away
from the center of the
center
spin.
of the spin. Yes.
Okay. So that's all I was. Okay.
That's all you were getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, after you take the tires off, right, whenever they're done, those beads are still in there.
They're metal beads.
Oh, glass kind of beads, it's plasticky beads.
Okay.
So we're throwing these tires up and stacking them 3 high, right? Junk tires. So they're terrible, leaning all over the place. I go to put this tire up, and I lift it up, and it's on the 3rd row. It just explodes all over me, in my hair, in my ear, in my nose. Now, when you say exploded,
the tire didn't blow up. It just
the beads. All the beads just went all up in the air, and I was just like, oh, man. I mean, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely everywhere. It was disgusting. I was sweating like crazy, so of course they stuck to me.
Yeah.
Went down my shirt all the way down waistband.
So it's like you had sand slung on you almost.
Yep, exactly.
Are they that small?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And the guy I was with goes, they don't usually do that. No crap, they don't do that. It was terrible.
Why do they not normally do that if you're picking up an open tire? It has no inside on it, right? It's just the outside rubber part that goes on the rim?
Yeah, they typically will stay kind of settled on the bottom. And, a tire's kind of got a little bit of a lip in it. So they stay.
But for some reason, maybe a clump fell.
I didn't realize that it was full of beads.
Yeah.
So that was totally my bad. And it went
What
everywhere.
if the last dude that changed that tire put in extra beads because the guy had been complaining, and you need to just put out a PSA bulletin to all the people that do what you do, right? Because I'm assuming that all of you guys are part of one single network, like criminals, right? Everyone goes to criminal school when they.
Everybody knows. I mean, there's a code.
Yeah.
And you don't put 2 bags in one tire.
Is that a known thing?
I don't know.
It should be.
It should be.
Put it out.
Put it out. In case you're doing tires, don't put 2 bags of balance
bag
beads.
of beads.
Just one.
Yeah. And so you pick these up at the auto parts or something? Do they work on cars? Do you know?
I've never seen them in cars. I've wondered if they are in passenger vehicles, but I've never tested it.
Interesting. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
But aren't truck tires, how big are they? Like,
They're massive.
20 inches?
The rims that we're dealing with are usually 22 and a half or 24 and a half.
Rolling on the
Yeah.
Quattros.
Yeah.
24s.
Yeah. And
have you ever seen an 18-wheeler with low pros?
well, technically the 295 75s are the low pros.
No, I mean like airless.
No, I know
like
you're talking
Pirelli
about
tires.
No.
You should.
No. I don't think that they would do that because they're usually carrying too much weight.
Right, but if you were just going to like roll around town.
Like you could make it. Hey, there's another spider. There you go. Where is he at?
Yeah, that's
Where
why
is
I
he?
got the last one.
What in the world?
Mm-hmm. Hey,
There he
get
goes.
on your hand.
Okay. No, there he is.
Hurt so bad.
It hurts so bad. There's some.
That seems like an ingrown nail or an infection down that side.
It's an infection down on that side. Oh, it hurts so
You
bad.
should have told me before I came here. I would have brought you some essential oils, man.
I've got some oregano and frankincense and
Right, lavender, man. I love it. I put lavender on anytime I get a burn.
Anything and everything.
Put on lavender on it. I got a burn real bad on the 4th of July once where it went across my thumb when I was lighting something. Man, it was burned, right? Not like open flesh cooked or anything like that, but it was definitely
Blistered.
several skin layers deep, and it was like that raw redness underneath it. And my wife said, "Hey, man, you want to put some lavender on it?" I was like, "I got to put something on it, right? Because it's just throbbing." She put the lavender on it, and probably within 10 minutes, dude, I had forgotten that I had it.
Nice.
It was amazing. And after
Nice.
that, I started swearing. I swear on lavender because it acts. It's like a miracle oil.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean?
is. If there's ever any doubt or question, try lavender.
Yeah, it's an anti-inflammatory, I think, right? And so it does its job really, really well. Like surprisingly well. Like I wanted to go put nummy spray on it, like to make it numb and stuff, and the lavender did way better than that would have done.
Because all that does is numb for temporary, and then
for just a second, and then you're like hitting it, and you're like, "Hey, man, you got any more of that spray?" Beep, beep, beep. Yeah.
I mean that thing. It feels like it's 3 times as big as it is.
Yeah. Did you clip your nails too short or something?
No.
maybe?
No.
You probably got some.
My only
janky
guess is
truck dust
something
stuff down
from-
in there,
yep.
or little metal shaving, or
Could have been one of those
one
shards.
of those little balls.
Mhm.
Yeah, or a shard got poked in it. It's still dirt
Brought
janky
some
in
dirt
there.
and everything in there with it.
Yep.
Hey, here's a little present for you, just so you can remember us later.
It's like getting a jailhouse tattoo, but just on the side of your finger.
And
right? And now
much
now you
much
have-
less of an interesting story to tell, too.
right? Like,
I got this in jail. Where'd you get that?
not sure.
Trailer.
But it hurts. the
Trailer.
same. It feels like I got Hep C in jail though. I really like to see you put some peroxide on your finger.
I
and
did.
Watch it fizzle.
It didn't do anything. I took
Even
it
when you pull it back,
so
and
it
you
did.
pour it in there.
So I actually I punctured it to get some of that pus out.
Super awesome,
And
dude.
then
You
I
have the
did.
best stories, dude. Just, God. So today on self-dissectomy,
I've got an infected finger, and it was driving me nuts at work. I couldn't wait till I got home so I could inflict a self-injury and poke it so I could get stuff out that was causing all the pressure, and I did. And then I put hydrogen peroxide on it, and it fizzled a little bit, but not as much as I'd
Underwhelming.
hoped.
super underwhelming.
I
Put alcohol on it.
don't know if I've got any alcohol.
You definitely need to put lavender on it. Legit.
Lavender for real.
Try to.
I've
pull
got,
it
like I
back
said,
and
I've
let
got
it get down in
oregano.
there and remove some of that inflammation.
It friggin' hurts so bad.
Yeah. Listen, if it gets freaky though, seriously, if it gets freaky, go to the doctor.
I will.
And have them do whatever they're going to do to it, because it's not worth losing your fingertip over something that you could have just went and addressed.
No, it's not. I agree. I told
Yeah.
I told my wife the same thing. I said, she's like, "Oh no, are you okay? You need to go." And I said, honestly, I'm keeping an eye on it because if it does get bad, I will go.
Yeah,
because
you
I thought
obviously
the
can't
exact same
fix
thing.
it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I thought the exact same thing. It's not one of those. I'll just let it heal itself. No, I need my hands.
Oh, I am the world's worst at that.
That's all right.
Some of them sneak up on me though. Like some will go like 3 inches long.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You can wheel around, hit people in the head with it and stuff. And then some like you're just like it'll just like very tender ashes. Those ashes. I love this cigar, by the way. I love it.
Good. I thought you would.
Yeah, I
thought you would.
absolutely love it. Flat head.
There it is. There's the cramp. Oh. Honestly, that was one of the big things I was nervous about. I told my buddy before I started working.
Magnesium glycinate.
Nice.
It helps with cramps, bro. Big time.
I told my buddy before I started working here that I was really concerned for several reasons. One, because I didn't know anything.
Right.
I'm terrible. As far from the talent pool that you would want to draw from.
What I am is the
possibly
not doer of this job.
Exactly. Like if we were playing dodgeball, I would not even have been the last pick. I wouldn't have been picked at all. But the other piece was that physically, because I cramp so easily.
Yeah.
I've cramped forever since I was a little kid.
Really?
And as I've gotten older, like you said, you feel it more. It takes less for my body to be stressed. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, this is a normal stretch, and then you're 40, and no, it's not.
What if you were to abandon the headband altogether?
No, it didn't help it. It didn't help it at all. It didn't help it at all. That actually helps me stay cooler.
I bet it does.
It
Without
really,
having the hat trap in the heat and stuff like that. Yeah, I bet it does. And you have great hair too. My male pattern baldness is kicking in the back.
No, thank you.
So I have to.
You should do that. Because then you could do it's like the comb over
I
in
did
reverse.
that, man, dude. My wife hated it, dude. She hated
It's
it.
the reverse
my
comb
hair,
over.
dude, my hair, whenever it would come in the front, it would be like down to here.
Yeah.
And I had it combed all the way to the back.
Yeah.
And I had to keep it kind of wet.
Yeah,
with
to
something
stay.
to get it to stay back there with gel or something like that. Well,
You
when it does
need-
that, it clumps. So
You
it
need
looks
the
even
tiara.
worse.
You need the tiara. I'm
don't
telling
think
you,
so.
it would work.
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I've put on the kids' headbands sometimes before, and I'm just like, yeah, this is not my look. Yeah, I don't, because I don't have enough. My hair's not long enough to make it looks like I'm just wearing a headband.
I don't know that mine looks good. What's funny is I've had several. When I first did it was a year ago, right? I let my hair grow for a year, first time, and it was really out of control, and I wouldn't have been able to keep going had I not found that goofy headband.
Right.
And I was like, this will actually work because it'll keep it out of my face. My hair grows forward. This kept it out of my face, and it would keep the sides from flailing out because my hair will go straight out. Yeah. So, but whenever I first started wearing it, I would go to places, and people wouldn't recognize me. Like family members would not recognize me. It was like a mustache, but that good of a disguise.
Yeah. Well, you look completely different with your different looks. Like I saw a video of you today from when you had short hair, no facial hair and stuff like that. You look completely different. It's a totally different look, right? So, and when you have hair, you can pull off Master of Disguise type stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I've got lots of options.
Yeah.
I could go. I went for the Martin Van Buren kind of thing, where you just shave all this and you've just got the really like the chops.
Yes, I've done it. Like I'm not authorized to continue wearing those type of things.
Yep.
But sometimes whenever I shave, I'll let my beard grow out really big, and then I'll do like the weird thing, and then walk out of the bathroom. It's just just a brisk walk.
Yeah,
there and back. Yeah, right. And then I'm right back on the trimmers. It's not like a rocket anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
I do the Abraham Lincoln every now and then. Whenever I get tired of the mustache and this all on my face, just right here,
and leave this.
And just that. Yep.
I've done the whole goatee, but just this part and this, and take off just the mustache. So you have like, I don't know what it's called. But
Oh,
it's
cool.
like the,
Okay, yeah.
under, just the beard part. Yeah. And then do that with just this. I like that a lot too. Or I've done this, like that, and shave out the center.
Yeah.
Also cool.
I like that one.
A little Mormon-y type. Yeah, back in the Old West. Frontier daisy
or
type stuff.
who's one of the bikers?
Oh, I know the guy that does the they build the motorcycle choppers, Chopper City.
Yeah, he just does the
dad.
mustache though.
Yeah.
He just does the mustache, but it's the full beard with that. I
Yeah.
can't remember what his name is. He was an actor. He may still be an actor. I don't know.
Right.
I didn't mean to
I quit.
end him so quickly.
Like,
You're done.
You canceled him, bro. That was not cool.
You didn't even give him his name, and you already canceled him.
Listen, you shouldn't know anything about this subject. Take a position. Elaborate on it. Tell me why you feel so strongly. That's my new modus operandum in life. It's just it's really kind of fun to do.
Take a hard stance on something you know very little or nothing about.
Yeah. And now, conversely, you know, my brother, to his credit, will take the opposite, and he'll want to
Devil's
talk about
advocate.
a subject. Well, he will go and pour into books and pour
okay.
into videos. Get
Not
a lot
devil's
of.
advocate, but like full on.
He full on is like, hey man, if we're gonna chat about it, bro, and you're gonna take a position, I'm about to eviscerate you. So like, make sure your position is strong. So when I do talk to my brother,
fun.
I'm not
No,
not
just
in a
kidding.
bad way. And
No, I mean it's not fun because he actually has points and
he
counterpoints.
knows some stuff, bro. He knows a bunch of stuff.
No, I didn't want to have an intellectual conversation.
I was
wanted
just
entertaining-
saying things.
Entertainment value
Yeah.
is what I was after.
Yeah, I was just saying stuff, and now we're learning, right?
Like, why do we have fingernails?
I like how you brought that full circle.
Yeah,
Because he also told me that, too.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. He said, did you ever try to pick your nose without a fingernail? Poignant. Yeah, let it sink in. Just roll around in your head like one of those beads in a tire.
Mm-hmm.
It'll balance you out in a second. That's what my brother is. His feedback is like tire beads.
You can, but you have to have a tool.
To pick your
you
nose
know,
with sausages? Yeah.
like a tissue.
Yeah, but what he's saying is you don't need that, though. You can just go to work.
Just go to work. You don't need tools. You have them, right?
That's what he's saying. That is the tool. God issued right there. Bam, bam, bam. Nature's little set of
nose
tools.
picker.
A set of tools for sure. So
I think it's hysterical that we've had so many conversations about fingernails, and then that's what I'm struggling
and
with
that
right now.
is what you're struggling
And it's
with.
not even the one that I had the insertion point on. That's
But-
not the one, but
But a lot of your life is fingernail centric. You have to admit that.
yeah,
The drill through the finger, the
Yeah.
spikes through the finger.
yeah,
So it's fingertip centric
yeah,
at least.
yeah.
So, well, I wish you the best on trying to get that thing
I
cleared
appreciate
up.
it. I appreciate
And,
it. Hopefully by next week it'll be fine.
Yeah. The lather. Did I tell you? I think I told you anecdotally
Oh.
part about the lather.
Yes, you started.
Yeah. So, since I've been smoking cigars,
Yeah.
sometimes I imbibe. Is that what you call a cigar? Yeah,
I guess
imbibe.
so.
I take in a cigar, if you will, and so I smell like cigar. And then so like we're going back inside from outside, and I was like, my wife's wanting to be affectionate with me, and so I'm like, well, I will go wash my beard out, right? Because it really attracts. Even same if I smoke meat or anything like that, it'll also get really embedded in my beard. And so I go by the sink in the kitchen and I hit the lemon zesty something, not the dish soap, just the regular hand soap that we've got there. And I bust that in and I smell all lemony and fresh, and it's really pronounced for a little while. And then I go to the bathroom and use the restroom and stuff. And like when I'm walking out the bathroom, I smell it again. I'm like, wow, that didn't really do anything. It was totally just superficial.
Yeah.
So I'm right there by the bathtub. So I just reach in there, take a pump of my body wash, right?
Yeah.
Go over to the sink, hit the water, lather it up, start scrubbing that thing in, man. And it's just soap for days, bro. Because like when you pump in the body wash in the shower, right? You can, like take that washcloth, you can wash a good portion, if not all of your body with one pump, right? The hand soap isn't designed to be like I pumped, I washed my hands,
Yeah.
and it rinses away.
Yeah.
This thing just, and I'm in the sink, right? So I'm already hunched over the sink and, with a little water stream, and I'm splashing up, and I'm not in the shower to rinse this off. I'm like splashing up, and it just keeps sudsing, and I'm like,
Is it ever going to end?
Yeah, so it lasted like for 2 minutes. I'm in the reason, and still smelled like cigar smoke.
That's rough.
Smelled better, but like more manly and cigar-y. So kind of like a double
Kind of like
man.
double manly.
Double man.
Do you know that tobacco is one of the top ingredients in men's cologne?
I did not know that.
Yep. But yeah, no, I found it really interesting that tobacco was one of those smells. Like so for men, a lot of men love the smell of vanilla.
Yes.
Like it's Yeah, that's a great smell.
Yeah.
So a lot of perfumes will have vanilla as a primary scent that they're drawing on
Sesame
because
Street came up and was telling that right in front of our face that men love the smell of vanilla. Cookies. Boiled down to its most basic form.
But I don't know what it is. It's vanilla for men and tobacco for women.
Yeah.
Even women who don't like the smell of smoke like the smell of tobacco.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's some kind of chemical
Oh, there's got to be something to it.
olfactory receptor deal that explains that. You know what I'm saying? It's not just that they just they think it's a manly sin. I mean, I bet there's some kind of programmed receptor.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's going to have been exposed to tobacco, perhaps, and they still would find that scent pleasing.
Right.
So it has to be some kind of olfactory receptor, like a serotonin receptor. It's like, oh, it binds to that perfectly. Sugar with capsaicin.
That is proportionately higher in females.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the smell of dude's cologne too. Not like on a dude, but I like.
I mean, yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I can say what smells good. So.
Look, that's a nice smelling cologne. But I wonder.
But I don't want my woman to smell like that.
No,
You smell
definitely
like cool
not.
water. You row for a little while. I'm tired.
It's funny that you mentioned about the beard. Whenever I eat pizza, and it's just pizza, I don't know what it is, but it lingers on my mustache.
Or milk.
Milk does bad. It doesn't smell though. Like when I do pizza specifically, I will smell pizza until I go and I'll do what I call my post-meal beard bath.
Right.
And I will do exactly what you did. Wash to get that off because I'm like, it reeks. And whether the pizza was good or not, it doesn't matter. I don't want to smell pizza for the rest of the night.
Right. Yeah. I'm the same way. Like if I eat sour cream or cheese dip, it's real bad because it has the that cheese smell all day. I mean, for the whole rest of the time, and I find that smell really annoying.
It's not pleasant. It is not. That's not going to be in a cologne.
That's not going to be cheese.
Maybe they should try a new line. Who would want this?
Way for men. Eau de Coeur by Angeli, or who I don't even know it. By Nautica.
By Nautica.
Eau de Coeur.
Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, Ralph Lauren. Yeah.
Hugo Boss.
Queso by Boss by Hugo Boss.
Queso.
Queso.
Ooh, that's a lovely fragrance you've got on there. What is that? Queso.
Queso. It's queso-based cologne. That doesn't sound good.
That
sounds disgusting. The more we talk about it, the worse it sounds.
Oh, man. That would be rough. What I think would be worse is you walk in and you find, you put that on. It's got little bits of panther in it.
Panther?
You remember from Anchorman?
No.
Okay, there's the scene whenever he's talking about the cologne. He's like, ooh, that's pungent. And he's like, it's got bits of real panther in it. And he's like, that's not good. It's terrible. So you walk in and you with your queso. And you wonder who's going to actually like it. That would be the worst part, is somebody walks up and says, hey, that smells great. Something's wrong with you, buddy. Something's off. You should not be liking this. This is terrible.
But some people think cucumber tastes better pickled. That's not mine. I stole that, but that's from Dave Chappelle. But that's really what he says. It's very funny. It's just to each their own. You know, some people think cucumbers are great. Some people think they taste better pickled. You know, and so
some people like the smell of queso.
Queso for men. Yeah. Girls seem to like tobacco better, so it all works out for everybody.
It works out.
Yeah.
It works out.
So I told you about how great Teslas are now, I found out. So from our last episode to this episode, I found out that Teslas are amazing, and they're only going to be getting better, and they're incredible, and that basically everything I had said about the electric car was incorrect. And so now it's awesome. Now I'm just giving my brother a hard time.
I was like, I don't know if everything you said was incorrect.
Yeah.
Maybe the weight originally. You talked about the weight
Definitely
being so
was
light.
wrong
They're
about
wrong about
that.
the weight. The weight's heavy.
Yeah. But he said those are going to be super light pretty soon.
I
So
I
I'm
would be
looking forward to it.
curious to see how they're going to make that battery
And
light.
got feedback on the plane thing too. They've decided apparently not to make electric planes, but then turn around and that someone has made an electric plane, but it only holds like 2 people max.
Yeah.
And no luggage.
And how far will it go?
I didn't get into that level of detail. So you got to remember,
It will go-
unlike civilized humans, I hear a few words and sounds, and
I run with it.
and I go, this is how I feel about those, and I extrapolate, or not even extrapolate, I make up a bunch of other stuff about that set of words,
And take a stance on that.
and then take a solid stance on that. And then if I want someone's opinion about it, I'll ask a friend. If they say I don't know, then my next step is to go to Google.
Yeah.
Which, that entire
is
path,
great. Is great.
entire path of my decisions and stance taking is based on solid research and evidence, right?
Yes.
I don't do any footnoting or hey, is this a
Cross-reference
recognized?
or-
No.
Nope. I heard it. I'm saying it.
This is how it sounded to me, bro. So I've been watching this horrible show from back, and it's like, I want to say it's like 2018, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But it's called Love After Lockup,
Never heard of it.
right? Well, it's just like the 90-Day Fiance or 60 Days In. It's one of these reality TV shows that's not scripted. You know what I mean? Completely just off the cuff. My life's flying off the rails, and you're filming it, and everybody's okay with that.
Yeah,
Like, everywhere
yeah.
you go is okay with you having cameras.
Everything is
Everything
fine.
that you do is fine. And if you interact with the police, they're cool with you having the cameras there. I mean, like, everything can be filmed. So
Very realistic.
yeah, risque bathroom shots because you're cool with that the cameraman's just floating around your house filming you. And
He's
You know
not
what I mean?
going to film.
we're going to cut it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got another one. But anyways,
He's not going to film, but it's totally natural for you to still be using the restroom because the cameraman
camera
can't
guy-
see what his camera doesn't shoot.
right. Or that even if he accidentally catches a glimpse, he's just going to edit it out or blur it out. Or
He
do
wouldn't
whatever.
see it though. He would see it blurred.
Yeah, of course.
'Cause-
Yeah. Yeah. What the premise of the show is, there's a group of prisoners, all the incarcerated people in the United States, I guess, and the people that are on the show are people that have gone on a website, hit a pen pal site for Meet a Prisoner, Date a Prisoner websites. Apparently, this is a whole market, right, for prisoner dating. Overseas wives or whatever. So it's a whole market.
I was going to name an app, but I have no idea what a dating app would be to even reference. So
Right.
I apologize. I don't know.
Yeah,
But you can insert whatever one you're thinking of.
right. But I'm saying there's whole websites.
Yeah.
Meet a inmate online.com.
Meet a
Whatever.
mate.
Like, there's literally, but it's inmate, right? So, anyways, they go on there and they get these pen pals.
Yeah.
Right. And they start writing, and the people in jail start writing them back, and like, oh, da da da. They end up falling in love, and all this other stuff. And so the person on the outside is in love with this person that's on the prisoner, and the inside, and the prisoner loves having someone on the outside put money on their books.
Yeah.
Have someone to call, because the person on the outside is paying for all those collect calls from.
Yep.
You have a collect call from an inmate at something county. So at one point, I think the lady said she spent like $2,000 or $12,000.
Something crazy.
Again, based on no fact or anything. I'm just saying numbers, but it was a lot, right?
It's like $2 million.
It was way more than you would be cool with paying for phone calls to talk to a person that you've never met.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is a criminal and is serving real time. Real time, right?
Yeah.
In with other
Hard
criminals.
time.
And in the
With
criminal
queso.
school, right? Obviously a graduate of criminal school, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, that person's in the jail telling the person outside anything that they want to hear, so that they'll keep sending them letters and money on their books and doing all kinds of stuff, whatever. And but anyways, they get out, and the person on the outside is expecting this person that came out of jail to be in love with them, want to get married right away, because this person's been like,
Yeah,
I'll
I just
marry
gave
you.
you- yeah.
I'll ask you to marry me. Oh my God, someone loves me.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And then this show is about that and how it turns out, right? And it is outrageous.
Yeah.
Now, from an entertainment value, it is just train wreck city. It's train wreck city. But being how I am, I was thinking, I was like, hey man, how could some of these relationships actually work out better? Because these people seem to genuinely care
Right.
about each other in some cases, right? In most cases, the prisoner is leveraging them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, is he trustworthy?
Right, but there's
Where'd you-
some that seem like they could potentially work out, but there's just so much miscommunication. It made me start thinking about like how I go through relationships and stuff like that. But anyways, the whole thing that I landed on is it's one-sided expectations, right?
Yeah.
The person on the outside builds their own set of expectations about what life's going to be like, based on what the person on the inside is telling them. I love you. I miss you. God, I couldn't live without you, right?
Yeah.
And this person's going like, oh, you're my everything, and I can't wait till you get out. And do you want to get married? Yes, honey, I'll marry you straight away, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All that stuff. When they get out, this dude's going like, I just got out of prison. I'm free. I can walk. The girls too. I want to go buy stuff at the store. I want to get a cell phone. I want to talk to my old friends. I want to talk to the people that I was in jail with that got out, so we can connect, because we said we were going to connect up on the outside. So this person wants to have this whole life, and you don't realize when they're in jail they have nothing. There's nowhere to go or do.
Yeah.
Their relationship with you is their whole mind trip, like reading a book.
Right.
Your relationship with them is a part of a relationship like you would normally have, because you still have your whole life to contend with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like one-sided expectations was the thing that popped into my head, is that none of them tell the other one. They're too busy listening to each other and building their own set of expectations, but they never share their expectations with one another. And so I couldn't help but wonder if these prison love relationships could work out if they just learned some genuine communication skills and were more forthright with each other. Then I think dating a felon and marrying them when they get out without having ever met them,
Yeah.
then it might be a smart thing to do.
Then it would be
It would be less dumb.
when?
If you have you had communications training and you guys were both subscribing to that communications training,
Then it wouldn't be as bad.
well, then it might work
It
out.
could. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, then maybe dating a felon that you've never met, you just met over a pen pal app, and deciding to marry them or sleep with them as soon as they get out of jail,
Yeah.
then maybe that would be an okay idea or less bad idea.
Okay. idea.
No, it's still, even after I
It's
said it, it's
not-
still a
no,
bad
it's
idea.
not a
It's
great
still a
idea.
horrible idea.
It's not the best dating app.
Yeah. It is a horrible dating app. It's like, tell me you're a bad dating app without
Without
saying
telling-
I'm a bad dating app, right?
Have you dreamt of meeting your own felon?
You too can marry into a gang.
Good grief. Sign up now and a free bottle of queso. It's coming
I
your way.
forgot I wasn't supposed to wear my hat backwards. I didn't. I forgot about that.
It was backwards.
Yeah. Well, it's only been a half hour of the show, so it'll be all right. It'll probably be okay.
Tell you what, it is hot.
Why is it?
I'm
You
toasty.
You need to take a break. You wanna
No.
pause it?
No.
Tomorrow's going to be 90 degrees.
90 degrees.
It's been like basically fall weather
Yeah. Well,
for
not
the
quite
past
fall.
3 days.
Not quite fall. I promise you that. I've been out in it.
Right. But I mean, it's been really nice.
It's been nicer. Low 80s.
I'll reframe that. It was really nice under my gazebo inside my mosquito
Yeah.
net.
Yeah. There it's nice. It's not quite as nice on the lots
Yeah.
in the sun.
Or on the side of the freeway with the scorching sun blazing down on you. I'll concede that. But it was really nice in the backyard. The kids seemed to enjoy the pool. So my wife went today to go to the pool and come back, and she's got the sun V on her now from, a little bit of redness just from being out there for a few hours. So it's
My
not
wife
too
and
long.
kids were at the pool yesterday, and they're all sunburned. And it's sad, they were all sleeping. They were absolutely exhausted. So they're sleeping, but they decided to sleep by the pool. Like, they were supposed to go meet up with some friends, go to the pool, hang out, have a good time. The friends were just so frustrated because our kids were just all sleeping on the side of the pool. They're like, I don't have anybody to play with.
Right.
Then they went home, and the backs of their legs are all burned.
From where they fell asleep.
From they fell asleep.
Laid out there. Because you don't wear swim pants. We make our kids wear swim shirts.
We've got those,
block the UV.
what are they called? Rash guards?
Yeah.
Yeah,
rash
we've
guards,
got
that's
some
what
of
it
those things. But no, not on the legs usually. I mean, you're underneath the water for the most part.
is. Right.
But
Yeah, but not when you're sleeping out there.
Oh, and my wife, her legs, she burns like as soon as she steps outside. Her legs are completely sunburned, but her kneecaps are white. I was like, what is that about? What were you doing on your knees? She's like, oh, my knees never burn. I was like, what is that? How is that?
What's up with that creepy knees?
Like it's bright red with just a white dot on
Do you
either
think it's
leg.
because of it has to be because of the kind of skin that's in your knee.
I'd think so.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
Like your
it's got to be
elbow.
something. Yeah.
It's all that kind of tough skin.
Yeah.
Like rhinoceros skin. Like if you
I'm not going to tell my wife. That
No,
she's
not
got
her, but like if you feel your
rhinoceros
elbow,
skin.
you know,
No,
that wrinkly, if you could look up close on a rhinoceros.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's extra thick. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not as sensitive.
Yeah.
It's all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would make sense that it wouldn't burn, but nonetheless, it
But you
still
never
looks
think
funny.
about that.
No, you don't. But
That's
like
incredible.
I said, I saw it was so
Saw it
funny.
with your own eyes.
Obviously, saw it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
But she's just sitting there and she's just got her legs stretched out. Like when she's sitting down, and you have your legs bent, you wouldn't really notice it. Because there's usually that tension, you've got a little bit of that blood circulation,
Yeah.
makes it white anyways. But when she stretched out her legs, I was like, your knees are white. What is I mean, bright white. It was so funny. And I got tore up this past week.
At work.
So Thursday I was supposed to be on call Thursday night. I was supposed to be back up on call for Friday.
Wow.
Working Saturday, on call Saturday, and then back up on Sunday.
So
Backup means that if the person who's on call is too busy, they call me to come help out. This is all after hours. So I talked to my manager about it, and I said, can I have somebody switch with me? Because that's nuts. I'm not quite there yet to be able to handle that type of schedule. So he removed me from the backup on Friday.
is it because you were like, you work Thursday,
Yeah.
on call Friday night,
Work-
Thursday night, work Friday,
Yes.
on call Friday, backup on call Friday night, then you had to be on call Saturday?
Well, work Saturday, and then
Oh.
also after I'm done working, I'm on call.
Do you work every Saturday?
Nope.
Okay. So
So
do you
Thursday
get extra
night.
if you go on a call at night?
So you get more because it's after hours, so
Yeah.
they pay more. So it's better, but it sucks.
But you're basically working. You're just like you're working a double.
Yeah.
Are there nights that you're on call that nothing happens?
Yeah.
So tires don't blow out at night?
Sometimes they don't within our radius. We'll do a 50-mile radius.
Ah.
So, but this Thursday, I got off work, came home. I was going to be on call from 8 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay.
My first call comes in at 9:45.
Okay.
I make it home. I get back in bed at midnight.
Okay.
I get my next call at 2 in the morning.
Okay.
I didn't get back home until 7 a.m.
So then you shower and you still have to go to work.
Shower
or you
and
get extra
slept.
time?
No, I got to sleep because I wasn't supposed to be in until 12:30.
Okay.
So I got 4 hours of sleep, and then I went to work, and then I worked until 9 p.m. that night on Friday. I was not back up, thankfully. I got to sleep, but it was still, I was exhausted from the day before. Saturday I worked, and then after I got off work, I had 6 hours worth of road calls to do after that.
Huh.
And then Sunday we didn't get anything, thankfully.
So question.
I was exhausted. I'm still recovering.
When you work a whole day, you come home, obviously you shower and rinse the day off because you've been working on stuff. Then you're on call and you go out at 9:45 and you come back at midnight. Do you shower again or do you just get in bed in a trash bag?
No, I'll shower.
Really?
I'll shower again, yeah.
And then you go back out and then you come back in. and
Shower
you
again.
Really?
Yeah. Depending on the job. So depending on the job.
I'd trash bag it.
Well, sometimes I'm usually a neater person.
Yeah.
I don't like my hands being sticky.
Right.
So all that kind of stuff. So when we would go as a family, like we were house hunting, right? And we showed up at this house and it was raining, muddy, nasty, right? So we go traipsing through everything. I make it through without getting any mud on my shoes or anything. Everybody else there, like our realtor and everything's complaining, apologizing, all this kind of stuff. And then he looks down at my shoes and he's like, which way did you come in? And my wife goes, that's just him. He can miraculously avoid dirt. Like, it just doesn't get on him. So I can do some jobs and not get super, super dirty.
Sure.
And so I'll just have to, you know, scrub my arms and hands.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Other times, not quite as easy as that.
Like
I mean,
when
it gets all
you're
in my hair and everything.
Throwing tires up with the beads in it. With the
Beads,
bead
balance
bags.
beads are not fun. I
Yeah.
don't like them. I had this one, we were on the side of the road, and I was basically working on a cliff. So as I'm trying to get this 100-pound tire back up onto the trailer, my feet are sliding down the hill, and I'm, you know, trying to shove this thing up, and I'm like this. Oh, what am I doing? This is nuts. That's what I do.
Huh. And the tires weigh 100 pounds?
100 pounds.
That seems a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That seems a lot. Do all tires weigh that much? Tires don't. Cars, vehicle tires don't.
Vehicle
Passenger.
tires are like baby tires.
Yeah. Okay. Because the tires on the trucks are like hard leather all the way up the
Rubber.
sidewall.
Yeah.
Very to support all that weight.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And the pressure, 100 pounds of pressure.
They put 100 pounds in there. 100.
Yeah, 100 psi.
Wow.
That's what we were up to.
Yeah.
So a lot of guys will run it at 120.
Really?
Yeah.
With a smoother ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to run my van tires a little bit harder. It's a much smoother ride.
I like
the bumps hit
more-
a little bit, but
yeah.
it's a smoother.
Yeah, I like a little bit
I
more in
think
there.
so. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what's crazy is a lot of times they'll call in for us to come out and fix a tire,
Yeah.
right? Because it's got a nail in it.
Yeah.
Well, on a vehicle, on a passenger vehicle, you get a nail in it, you got to pull that thing out and it's leaking.
Right.
I've got several where I've pulled out bolts this long and no air leaks.
Because the rubber patches
So
itself
thick. No,
Oh,
no,
really?
because
it
it's
just
so
hasn't
thick.
punctured
Yeah,
into the air
hadn't
cavity.
gone into it. Yep,
Wow.
and not just like a little small, you know, sliver. I'm talking like a big, massive bolt,
Yeah.
wide, big. I mean, all of it
Yeah.
didn't go through.
That's crazy. So what is the main culprit for having tires blow out on the trucks like you see sometimes? They just go absolutely ham with the and the two rings come flying off and hit your car.
You've got a lot that can go
Yeah, they
into
can
it.
take a
A lot of
bolt.
times it's under inflation.
Uh,
When they're not inflated all the way, they're sinking down, and so those sidewalls are actually carrying weight in a
Bending.
way they're not supposed
I
to,
got you.
and they're weaker than the tread.
Yeah.
Tread is supposed to handle all of the road mess and everything that comes along with it.
Sure.
The sidewalls are only there to help support,
the
hold
air.
air in, and
Yeah.
provide
'Cause the rubber
stability.
on the side, I imagine, has some kind of stacked.
It's all cables.
Instead of being like this, it's getting some support that way.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So when it's underinflated, that's the primary reason
Really?
for it. Yeah. Then you've got heat. Heat's another one.
Huh.
So as it gets hot,
Yeah.
90 degrees, more tires are going to be blowing.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna be busy tomorrow, but that's
Busy.
good for you.
Busy.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
Make that money, stack that paper, so you can do.
Trying
some
to
stuff.
so I can fix the house.
Yeah. You got to do it. We got to, because I thought about it, but I decided I'm not going to pay to fix your house. So I'm not even going to run it past my wife.
Good, good,
Yeah.
good. That's not
So
what
I did. I thought about it for like
No.
however long I thought about it. It
less than
wasn't
a
a
second.
long time.
Less than a second.
It wasn't a long time.
Less than a second.
But I thought it would be cool if I could. I did think that part. I remember. I was like, man, that'd be super cool if I could do that. But then I probably wouldn't have that money because I would have bought a boat or something.
I'm sorry. I bought a boat.
No. But I will help you.
Well, I appreciate that. My wife says she's ready for us to start demoing.
Really?
I said I am too. I just got to know what I got to demo.
And now we know.
Kind of.
Yeah. I say we treat it like a brisket and go slow and steady,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even I'll invest in a Sawzall. I've always wanted one. If you don't have one,
I've got one.
Oh, okay. And then
I got a couple. I got a handheld one too.
Oh, good. You know what I'm saying? So we can pull the walls
Yeah.
up, and so we're not standing like, and then this half the
I got
electricity.
that thing right there. That's a big one.
The case?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then I've also got the little handheld one, 20 volt.
Oh, that's what that is the...
No, that's a
Sawzall.
electric. Yeah,
Sawzall.
Sawzall. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's an electric one.
Are you going to rent a dumpster or what? What are we doing here?
So we've thought about renting a dumpster. We probably will have to. I've got to figure out about codes.
How long you have a dumpster sitting there and stuff?
Well...
Oh, to tear your stuff apart.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because we're in the
historic
district.
But yeah, but with some of the stuff that you got, they should just let you
would
run
think.
amok. Hopefully you don't have to restore it with like 18th century doors and all that other kind of stuff.
No, I wouldn't think so. I mean, the house down the street's got quite a bit that they did.
Yeah.
I mean, it does not look like it did in 1941, I'll tell you that. That white one, you've seen it?
I don't pay attention. I've only been here a number of times. So I'm always like,
it sneaks up on you.
Make sure I look for it. I'm looking for the sign. And you've got a sign in your yard. I'm like, man, what am I going to do when that sign's no longer there? Because it won't stay there forever. You know what I mean? And so
it's Grime Fighters.
It's what?
Grime Fighters.
And which is?
That's my pressure washing business.
Your pressure washing.
My pressure washing business. I don't have any business.
You just doxed yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. But if anyone's looking for pressure washing,
yeah,
Grime
Fighters.
Grime Fighters.
Fun name.
I like the name, Grime Fighters. I didn't know that was your pressure washer. Huh.
I bought a pressure washer. And then I got a couple extra tools because I was like, I could do this. I could totally do this as a side job.
Yeah.
You know? And
so is it not taken off because of...
I didn't push it.
Yeah.
And work started picking up.
Yeah.
And the money that I can make it work, I think, is going to be...
outdo that.
More than that, yeah.
Yeah. And plus, there's a whole thing, too. When you want to start a business on your own, the idea, the novelty is good, but you have to have that entrepreneurial spirit, and you have to have that focus and that drive.
Oh,
because
100%.
There's a whole bunch of aspects. Like, I've done all kinds of construction, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I used to do, like, acoustical ceilings, where they put the metal grid in, and they come in with the tiles, and you put all that stuff in there. And I was like, that's not hard work. That's not the hard part. Getting the laser and hanging it and all that stuff, it's pretty straightforward. You put in the corner bead, you drop a laser line, you put in the corner bead, bang it up there, and then you tie in the grids, right? It's very straightforward. It all clicks together, right?
Yeah.
So it's like really straightforward. And then you drop in your sound battens or your tiles, right? But doing that on your own takes quite a bit more than what you think that it does as being an employee, right?
Yes.
So there's a reason that your boss is the boss and the person that owns the company, and all the logistics stuff and the advertising and all the other things. So because there's been a ton of times where I wanted to go like, it'd be so awesome if I went and did this for a living. And you start trying to do it or even looking into it and you're like, wow, what a lift that is. It's not.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's not as easy. It's why so many businesses fail.
Yes.
That's why they fail. Yeah. It is. I mean, you think, I could do this. I could totally do this. This could be fun. That's not your business.
If someone's just feeding you jobs.
That's not your business.
Yeah, the act of doing the thing that you're selling ends up not being your business. Your business, what you have to be good at is all of the other stuff. The part that you don't like. Right?
And it's the consistency. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Even, it's funny, even doing YouTube videos, I didn't think too long about it. And I think it's good that I didn't.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have started.
Right.
But once I started, I felt very compelled and driven to keep going. Again, my vision, I really was very passionate about it. I knew that it was more than just, I have this whim, I want to do this.
Right.
And I tell you what, there are days that I don't necessarily want to upload things. Like, for instance, even whenever I was on call Thursday, I made sure to get something uploaded before I got on call.
And it was awesome.
I make sure that I still am doing the things consistently every single day, making sure I'm videoing each week.
Yeah.
Even when I don't want to. And it's not like I have a whole lot to show for it on here. I'm, again, believing that the consistency over time is what will pay off. But I say that for anybody out there who's watching and saying, I could totally do this, or I should do this. Do it. Yeah. Absolutely do it. But know that if you're going to do it and you want it to succeed, you will have to commit to it.
And that's one of the things I've noticed, even only just being, recently involved with watching you.
Famous?
Yeah, since my fame is still new, fledgling fame, I like to refer to it as right now. But no, just watching you and we encounter issues on the production side or stuff, and you just come back with the right piece of equipment to do it, or an adapter or a cable. Cables weren't working on the mics one night, and the boom that you just, it's not a, well, I don't know how much consideration you do, so there's me making, I was about to take a stand on something, but one thing I've noticed is every time you encounter something, you're like, this would improve it, this would make it better, this would take us a step further, you just execute on it. There's not a lot of, should we, hey, anything. There's like, I've experienced none of that feedback loop that you experience with yourself, if there is one.
Yeah.
It's just I come in the next time and like that problem is solved. I'm like, hey, guess what we're going to be able to do? Cool. Yeah, I tested it, because you're obviously committed to it, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And it's noticeable from my perspective. So,
well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's a compliment. I took that as a compliment.
It is a compliment.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
You're like, I've noticed this. Thank you. No, it wasn't a compliment that I was giving you. I was telling you I see this, but it's not.
I was talking smack on you, and you told me
this is actually terrible.
This
I'm
is
highlighting
exactly
your
what
problem.
I'm talking about. You don't even understand anything that I'm saying, right?
This was terrible, and you just said thank you.
Yes. Well, it's good. That's one of that's a special skill that we have as men, right? Well, that was a load. Thank you for that. Thank you very much, sir. There's even a famous saying. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
May
right?
I have another?
So,
that's it. No, but seriously, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. But I also like to, since you told me the first, third, second, third, and
you like
third,
to finish
third,
and see.
I like to take the ride on them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's true. Because that one that I told you I didn't like, the Patel, Connecticut. Mm-hmm. The second third was okay. Mm-hmm. And then the third was like, yeah, okay, that's tolerable. But it was just tolerable. It wasn't anything that made me go like, oh man, I want to smoke this one again. It was to the point I was like, oh, I'll just give those to you if I ever get them again. We'll put them in the stash so that when people start attending the
live recordings.
Lounge, we'll have them to pass out as favors, right?
Well, Connecticut's are great for that because it's when you start on.
Yeah, and I did, and I liked it, and it was okay. It just, like I told you, got a little green tasting for me, a little bitter. That was even like right when I first lit it. It wasn't that mild. It was bitey,
Earthy.
Yeah, like an onion. Like a bitey onion.
It's been a while since I've looked at a cigar and gone, I don't know that I've got time to smoke that. That's a beast.
That is a beast.
That's a 6x60.
Do you smoke in your car on the way to work or anything, or on the way home?
No, it's too short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's your place out of?
It's over in Lebanon.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's right over by
if I have car issues then.
Well, we don't do cars.
Yeah, but mechanic stuff.
Oh,
Might have you change my brakes or something if they go out on the road or something. Are you blue collar up? So what you're telling me is that going into the blue collar tire world, which is it's mechanic related. It's definitely mechanic adjacent. Yeah.
Well, everybody there is more mechanical. I'm not
yet. Right? Because once you enter into that world,
I've been in here for 8 months now. I don't know still.
Yeah,
I know more than I did.
It takes time. The dude that knows stuff, that's chewing a piece of hay over in the corner, that dude always like, man, I've been doing this for 30 years.
Our main mechanic quit.
Now you also have the other guys that are like, man, I've been doing this for 3.5 years, man, and I know everything.
No, you don't. You know how to break everything.
Well, I know that.
I know how to break everything, but
I'm talking about
I say I know how to break. Yeah.
Right. So you tell people like, hey, man, I know enough to break stuff. You don't think that bodes well for your reputation, or as you're your own best advocate?
Not knowing anything actually worked out in my favor.
Where?
And at work. And telling everybody that I didn't know everything worked out in my favor.
Yeah.
Because every mechanic wants to be the one to teach you
their way.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually some form of genius. That's a slight form of genius.
I played it up.
Smooth.
Thank you.
And you want to know. It's not just that
Yeah.
you don't know. Like, I don't know. You're like, bro, but I'm willing for you to tell me.
And that's what I did.
Yeah.
I came in and I actually talked about it in one of my videos. I said, everybody wants to be the one to teach.
Right.
And most of the time, guys come in and it's like a pissing contest, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I know. Oh, yeah, well, I know.
Yeah.
And so they're all trying to prove you wrong.
Right.
And you're trying to prove you're right.
Yeah. And, I think that is actually a smart tactic. I may have been making a joke about it earlier and stuff, about acting like you don't know, or not acting, but if you don't know some stuff, right, be honest about it. And people, I like to think, at least in my industry, people have a tendency to help you. There are those people that, not just the guys who are like, oh, I want to be first to them, but there's other people that are even more reserved and that they know a bunch of stuff. And you're like, bro, I want you to tell me, help me, because I'm coming to you telling you I don't know about it. I need you to help me, and I will really appreciate it if you would just help me that. I know that I'm inconveniencing you. I know that you're a closet guy and you don't, I should probably know some of this stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that if I'm just like that with them, that most of the time they will be receptive of that. And they'll say, no problem, I'll help you out. There are some that you have to work on, and I have put in that work, and it's paid off too.
Mm-hmm. AJ, you're going floral on me.
You like that?
I'm not a big floral fan.
Are you not?
No.
I like that stuff.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I kind of like the earthy.
Do you really? Real kind of like...
Not dirty, but just there's some that are earthy and...
Yeah.
I don't know.
There are
some will say it's like a leathery...
Yeah. It puts the lotion on the skin.
It rubs the lotion on it, or else it gets the hose again.
Like, don't make me hose you down. Don't make me do it. I don't dislike that.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's a good one.
I really like this with it.
Mm-hmm.
Hazy, juicy, and refreshing.
Just the haze, man.
It's just so... That's floral.
Yeah.
Right?
Those, mm-hmm.
And so when you hit it with the earthy tones, and it's like a really good combinations. You know me a little bit. I cook a lot, right?
Yep.
And so I really like learning about different spices. Now, in the past, whenever I've cooked some, I will, especially me and my wife, when we were first starting to really blossom together in our cooking, we would discover something. We would taste it at a restaurant or something. It'd be like rosemary or cilantro or coriander, or that's like cinnamon in a vape, man. You're just like, oh, why did I put that one drop of cinnamon there and ruin it? It lasts for 3 weeks. But we would get on these kicks, man, sage or whatever, and we would make like 10 different dishes for like over the course of 2 weeks with that being heavy, and biscuits and gravy. And I'll tell you this is a secret of mine. Biscuits and gravy, if you want to learn, if you know how to make biscuits and gravy, which I do, if you want to learn about a taste of a seasoning, make biscuits and gravy and make that seasoning the star of the biscuits, of the gravy. Because gravy is blonde, or bland. It's white if you don't put a bunch of pepper and salt and all that stuff.
Right.
It's milk and flour, right? And make the roux and all that stuff. And now if you put sausage in it, which we do, but we would cook it separate, right?
The sausage separate?
Yeah, and then chop it up and put it into the gravy at the end, right?
Yeah.
So we could get the experience of whatever this seasoning was. So there's a number of herbs that I'd never used before that I test kitchened in the gravy, and they were outstanding, like way better than you think that they would be. Yeah. But it's a great.
Well, I mean, biscuits
vehicle.
and gravy are just great.
Great by themselves.
Great.
Yes.
So
yes,
that sounds like a wonderful dish to do some testing on.
Maybe one day I'll bring you biscuits and gravy, and you can have some for pre-show food.
So we typically will video after I get off work. I'm here at the house by myself. My wife and kids are unfortunately having to stay with my in-laws because of the mold issue that we're having at the house. But I'm still here at the house. She comes over with the kids and everything. We're good. We've had some friends actually ask us, "Are you guys okay?" My wife answers, she's like, "We're actually better than we've been in a long time.
Right.
We just can't, unfortunately, be in the house because it makes our son sick, makes the rest of the kids sick.
Sure.
All that kind of stuff." So I usually will get off work, and depending on how late I'm working, I may or may not have had time to eat. Well, B-Rye realized that I'm here by myself and coming from work, and so he said, do you usually eat at night before I come over? And I was like, I'll grab something sometimes. Sometimes I'll stop by fast food. Sometimes I'll just eat a bowl of cereal or something. And so he has hooked me up these past 2 weeks with some incredible food. Incredible food. Tonight, I actually had to stop. He brought me some brisket that he'd been smoking for 15 hours, you said?
Yeah, probably longer than
15, longer than 15 hours. Delicious. I stopped after the first sandwich because I knew that I would not be able to continue recording if I kept going. I may pass out and just fall asleep on him in one of the recliners over here. But
if you're like me, you get 2 or 3 of those, and you're like, I want to eat these in private. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want people to see how ravenous I am.
Don't look at me. I'm hideous. Yeah. I'm bad, and I sometimes have like a whole container of it sitting in my refrigerator, right? So we'll have for dinner, and then I'm just moseying around the house in the middle of the night, and I'm like, I kind of have the munchies or something I might eat. Like, and I'm not a chips guy per se too much, right?
Yeah.
And so I'll open the refrigerator, and that thing will be sitting there, and I'm like, well, I could just microwave a handful of it. That won't hurt anything, right?
Not bad. And then your wife comes out and finds you over in the corner, hunched over.
Turn the light off. Turn the light off.
Precious.
Well, it's mine. I can have it if I want to, can't I? That's why I cook so much. There's plenty for you, too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But thankfully, my wife doesn't. One, she doesn't get on to me about eating too much brisket, right?
Yeah.
So,
it's meat.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. And briskets, it became this big thing in my life because I didn't, up till about 5 or 6 years ago, if it was even that far back, I didn't cook brisket, right?
Yeah.
I thought, but I did think that since I was from Texas, I knew how to do it, and I could do it automatically, and I suddenly wanted it because I wanted to show off for my wife, and da-da-da. And I think I may have mentioned this before, but the very first brisket that I did...
You told me. You did not tell them.
Okay, well, the very first brisket that I did is I got one of these little electric smokers with this, like, a little refrigerator, and you have a little slot on the side that you pull back, and you put the chips into it, right? Like, just chips, right?
Chips, like potato chips?
No, like wood chips, right?
Okay.
So you pick what kind of wood you want, but they're just wooden slivers, like wood shavings almost, right?
Yeah.
So I have no concept of how to use this thing, but it's obviously a low amount of chips that you put in, not a whole bunch. You're not a stick burner. You're doing it off of this electric coil that's in this box. Well, it's the middle of winter, okay? It's like January, right? It's like 22 degrees outside, legitimately below freezing.
Yeah.
I go to the most expensive butcher in town, right? I think it's called Porter Road or something like that. I pay like I don't want to say this. I think it was like $190 for this brisket, man. Right? Because I'm going to show out.
And this was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, because I'm from Texas, though, and I'm going to show out.
Yeah.
And make this awesome brisket that my dad used to make, and that I've been dying for, and I haven't been back to Texas and stuff.
Yeah.
So I buy this brisket. I didn't trim it or anything. I didn't know anything about it, so I assumed that it had trimmed. I know a lot more about it now than I did then, but so I assumed that it was trimmed enough. I put that bad boy in there. I don't even remember if I seasoned it. If I did, it wasn't very well compared to, again, to what I know now. And I put that thing on the porch and start feeding it wood chips, turn it up to the little digital thing, up to the temperature, and I'd ask somebody what temperature, or looked on the internet what temperature I was supposed to cook it at. So
Another helpful Google,
right? So, you know, but by an hour later, I go out there to check it. So I open up the box and check it. It's like, man, nothing's happening. I close the box. Another hour, 2 hours later, I go by there and check the box again. So my point is, I'm opening this little box,
tiny thing
of insulate. It's a cooler, with a heating element in it.
Yeah,
that needs
warming element.
Yes, if anything, it needs to stay closed forever, bro. Like, put it on, and don't open it no matter what, right? Don't do it. Just let that little box get hot from the curling iron that you've got jigged in the side of it, right? And then feed it wood chips, right? That's the best that you could do, but not me, because I didn't know anything about cooking it, right? And so by the time I ended up cooking this thing for like 11 hours, which is not nearly long enough, but I'm thinking like, man, it should be
11 hours.
When my dad does it, he puts it on in the morning, it's done at nighttime. I pulled this thing out. We ended up putting it in the oven for a long time, trying to get it to come up to temp. By the time it does come up to temp, this thing is It is literally
leather.
It is horrible.
Ugh.
So we obviously can't eat it. I want to, right? Of course, my ego is going like, man, you better eat that. You better eat it. And I'm like, I can't do it. I messed up, right? I have to say it. I messed up. So I just say, man, forget about it. I'm just going to cut it into chunks and give it to the dog. The dog was like, I'm not
good.
your guy, bro. I'm not your guy. I don't know what you did to it.
The dog even said no.
But I'm not the one, man. I'll take the dog. I'll take the dry kibble, please. Yeah. Yeah, but he wouldn't eat it, man. I ended up having to throw away that whole brisket. And so for several years, I swore off cooking any kind of meat at all. I mean, we would still hibachi. We had like a little grill, me and my wife, when we first started dating and stuff. A little hibachi. We hooked the butane thing to it, and we would do burgers and some steaks or something. Not real well, but we did it. We did a lot of pork back then because we were on a budget. And so all that was fun, and we got that kind of grilling type experience out of it. But I wouldn't touch smoking meat for a really long time. And then I met a friend here, and he started working with me, and he said he was a champion cook, right? He's won the state fair several times. He's been down to this food championship in Dallas where they have all the TV cameras and all that stuff, and they film the show
like
on
legit.
it. Like the World Food Championship. He's in
Wow.
the backyard competition, right? And so, anyways, this dude's like a ninja with cooking in general. But he starts coaching me through how to do how to smoke meat and stuff. So I started back out with chuck roasts, right?
Nice.
So in case I mess it up, this back when chuck roast was just a couple bucks a pound.
Yeah.
Now it's like a top-end cut of meat or something. It's like filet or something, right? So if I messed those up, it wasn't a big deal, and I just got better and better and better. And now, as he said, I'm a legendary ninja.
It's awesome. It's incredible.
Yeah.
If I could send the flavor over video, I would.
Yeah, I can't wait for that technology to come out.
That's gonna be awesome.
Legitimate.
That's gonna be
Smell-
awesome. Yeah.
Maybe not smell, but definitely taste. Taste when you smell
Mm-hmm.
it. But yeah, that'll be super cool. And they can't be that far off, right? If they can move atoms, they can move one atom and another atom in a whole completely different part of the world moves, right? That's what they say that they can do now. Again,
They can do now. It's always been done, right?
Well, it's always, yeah, I guess it's always been doable, but
They can find.
observe
They
it,
found out they can observe.
They can
it.
observe
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
right? So then the next thing they're going to try to parlay that into is like transporter,
Yeah.
right? Data transportation, and then eventually it'll hopefully
Physical.
be things. That would be super cool, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be there in a second. And
Literally.
I'm not playing. I'm not playing.
You lied. You said a
Yeah.
second. It's
You
been
said
2.
you were dressed. You said you're ready to go.
You said get here now. Thank you so much for joining us again for another evening here at Cigar Chris and B-Rye's Cigar Lounge. If you're not subscribed to the channel yet, you really should subscribe. Join us. It's a lot of fun to just sit and listen to B-Rye tell all of his wonderful stories. I always enjoy it. I always enjoy it. And we love having you with us. If you do subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you get updates on when the new videos come out. If you like the content, give us a thumbs up. Put something down in the comments section. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We'd love to talk about your topics as well. And we will see you next time when we can share a cigar and change the world.